Welcome to another episode of Eye of the Storm, a Guelph Storm podcast with myself, Ryan Drury, the voice of your Guelph Storm on Rogers TV. Happy New Year. We can still say that because it's our first episode of 2025, and we're very excited to be joined by a recent addition to the Royal City and to the Storm roster, defenseman Noah Jenken. Jenks, how are you, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I hope the holiday was good to you and the family. And obviously, we know that your arrival in Guelph was very good to you, and we'll talk a bit about that in a minute. But I first want to start with just how you're finding your experience so far in the Royal City. I mean, obviously, it's a big change getting moved from London to Guelph. Luckily, the cities aren't too far apart. How are you enjoying Guelph so far?
Yeah, it's been good. Just like you said, I'm from London, so still close to my home, which is nice. But yeah, it's been great so far. It was a good and easy adjustment for me. It's a great group of guys, and I'm fitting in well and kind of finding my stride here.
Obviously, part of that is a lot more ice time. You were a little further down in the lineup with your hometown Knights, but you come over here and you get thrust into some pretty big minutes for Corey Stillman right away. What's that adjustment been like? Because, as far as I can tell, you're adjusting to the up in minutes very, very well.
Yeah, thanks. It's been good so far. I'm excited to take on a little more responsibility than I had in London, and I'm adapting well, and it's been going well so far, and hopefully we can keep it going into the new year.
Obviously, I know quite a bit about your hometown. I did a bit of my college career there. It's a fun place to be a student. What's it
Yeah.
like to grow up as a hockey player there? I mean, the Forest City's a beautiful place. There's a lot of great hockey history there. What was it like for you growing up? Tell us a little bit about your experience as a young guy falling in love with the game.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I was young, I obviously wanted to be a hockey player. I had two older brothers that kind of pushed me in that direction too. They were big hockey players, and I just followed along their path, and it was great in London, and even just going to nights games and anything like that really inspired me, and it was cool to see that, and just tried to hopefully get there one day, which now I'm kind of living in it, and yeah, it's really exciting.
Who are some significant people? I mean, you mentioned your brothers, obviously your family, a big part of it, but who are some other significant people along the way in your youth hockey journey that inspired you to kind of keep going and pushing for that next level? Does anybody stick out? Maybe coaches, former teammates, anybody like that?
Yeah, one of my coaches, Jason Williams, probably is the main one that sticks out. He coached me last year in Strathroy, but I've been doing skills with him in the summer for a lot of years now, and he's always kind of helped me out with any questions as he played in the NHL, so there's a lot to learn from him, and I've definitely taken in as much as I can from him, and I'm just going to continue to do that, and he's been a big part of my career so far.
Pretty good player too, Mr. Williams.
Oh
And
yeah.
obviously, I know that leading into your draft year, you kind of came up with the Elgin Middlesex AAA program, the Chiefs and Canucks, and you had a really great draft year. You put up 26 points in 30 games playing for your club team. Tell us a little bit about your AAA organization and what made playing for them special.
Yeah, it was great. I was there for 7, 8 years. It's obviously going to be an important part, close to my heart for the rest of my life. But yeah, just again, kind of both my brothers played there, and I kind of just followed along with them, and met some lifelong friends there, and had some great experiences from when I was really young, and yeah, it just means a lot to play for that organization, and yeah, I had a great time.
So obviously, let's talk about a London boy getting to play for his hometown team. There's some guys around the league that are fortunate to fall into that situation. Obviously, Jake Carabello with the Guelph Storm is a guy that can relate to that with you. That must have
Right.
been incredibly special to be able to have grown up in London in the heyday of the Knights being a powerhouse, and you probably saw an awful lot of winning and great players come through. What did it mean to you and your family to be able to play for the London Knights? That had to have been incredibly special.
Yeah, it was unreal. Obviously having so many family come out to every game and you know, growing up watching games, just dreaming one day that I could play for them and um, that being a reality was pretty surreal and yeah, I mean, it was just a great time in London that I had and being able to play in that arena with those fans and we had a good team. It was really special.
So then you get flipped to the Storm in a big blockbuster trade, and you come the other way. And like we talked about earlier, you get thrust into more minutes pretty much right away. And it resulted in a pretty special evening for you. Your first home game at the Sleeman
Yeah.
Center, and you potted your first career and second career goals. You were first star. It was a lot of fun to call up in the booth. What do you remember about that night? Like, did something feel different about the game? Obviously, you're playing for a new team, but heading into the game, like, did you feel a little extra mojo or something? Because you played really, really well.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know. It was just I was really excited to be in Guelph, and all the guys were really welcoming, and I felt comfortable there already. You know, sort of had something to prove. Being in my second game with my new team, and just fortunate enough that I was able to score a couple goals, and yeah, it was just an unreal experience that night.
And they were both really nice shots, too, particularly that first one, which everybody will remember their first one for a long time. I'm sure the team got you the puck. Where is it now? Is it with mom and dad? Did you keep it? Where's the puck?
You know what? I don't even have it right now. I think it's still at the rink. The trainer might have it, but definitely have to get that soon.
There you go. They're getting it on a plaque for you, man, for sure.
Yeah, for
That'll
sure. Yeah.
when you do get it, are you gonna keep it or is that going straight to mom and dad?
I think I'm gonna have to keep it. I think so.
Yeah, that's
In my
fine.
room probably. Yeah.
Good motivation. Keep it there on the wall.
Yeah.
Um, I joked about, your pregame routine and kind of maybe feeling a little different. You go out and you pot two goals with your new team, which endeared you to the fan base right away. Are you a real
Mhm.
superstitious guy with your game day routine? Like, do you do anything that you would consider, or maybe your teammates consider a little quirky, or are you a pretty run of the mill guy?
Yeah, not really to be honest. When I was younger, in AAA, I kind of had some superstitions. But right now, I'm kind of just yeah running the mill and don't really have anything like that.
We leave the weird stuff to the goalies, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's for them to deal with.
Yeah, that's all
Uh
done.
I wonder a little bit about I like to ask all your teammates about their equipment. What kind of skates, what kind of stick are you running with and why?
I got the CCM FT5s for my skates. I've always had CCM skates growing up and kind of just got, the newest set of skates that I could and yeah, I've just stuck with it. And then my stick, I got right now I have the Trigger 9, I believe. But I kind of switch back and forth between that and the FT7s, all that stuff. I kind of switch between those two. And I actually this year I accidentally ordered triggers instead of the FT7, so I'm kind of stuck with that now. But I've adapted to it and I like it a lot now.
As a defenseman, I'm always curious to learn, like, are you a stiffer flex guy or do you prefer a more whippy stick, and what kind of curve are you working with?
Yeah, I kind of have a stiff stick. And then my curve is I switched this year to a P90T. But for the past like 4 or 5 years, I was P28, which is like that toe curve. But I don't know. I talked to some defense that I played with, and I don't know. It's not really kind of defenseman thing that unless you're kind of offensive. But yeah, I just switched this year, and I like it a lot now.
Well, people in your first game at the Sleeman Center definitely got the impression that you're an offensive defenseman, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
if you were to put your scouting cap on for us, break your game down. Like what style of player are you? And growing up, were there any NHL players or pro players that you looked at that you kind of maybe tried to model your game after a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a good uh, two-way defenseman that solid in his own end and able to trust when you're out on the ice. And then just good first passes, something that I really focus on, and being able to not lead the rush but join the rush and create some offense for my team whenever needed.
And then did you watch anybody when you were a kid, maybe even with the London Knights, and thought like, hey, I'd kind of like to try and play like that?
Yeah, kind of like Victor Hedman growing up. It's kind of like the ideal defenseman whenever you watch him. He's just so solid, uses his body well. He's kind of the ideal one that most people look at, so probably him.
Yeah, I admit, hey, that's a good guy to try and model your game after. That's for
Yeah,
sure. He's a winner too.
yeah,
Obviously you get to play with a lot of skilled teammates all throughout your career, and in London, you flip over and you switch teams, and now you're with the Guelph Storm. Like when you first showed up, got maybe some practicing in. Were there any teammates where you kind of maybe you weren't as familiar with them and they stuck out to you in practice, like, well, that guy's pretty good. I'm excited to be teammates with him.
yeah, definitely. Just everyone there's works really hard, and we definitely have a really good future ahead of us, and a great team there. But I mean, if I had to name a couple guys, probably Lev Katskin, Charlie Paquette. Those two guys really stood out for me. I only played Guelph twice when I played for London, so I wasn't too familiar with all the guys' games. But everyone there's works really hard, and yeah, I mean they're all good players.
Yeah, and you guys seem to be developing some chemistry now, and those two guys, I mean, in particular, they're pretty hot right now.
Mhm.
I want to talk to you a little bit about your experience playing in the junior B loop as well. A number of your teammates kind of cut their teeth in terms of junior hockey in that league. I've covered the GOJHL for over a decade. I mean, it's a great development league, and I still think that it's kind of underappreciated in a way. I know you played a couple games for St. Thomas, and you mentioned obviously playing Strathroy when you got into your first OHL action. That's easy. You had a great year for them. Tell us a little bit about your experience in the GOJHL. It's a pretty darn good league.
Yeah, it was great. Like you said, in St. Thomas, I played I think 4 games there in my draft year, U16. My brother played on that team, and it was nice to get to play with him. We were D partners for I think all the games, so that was a good experience. And then yeah, in Strathroy last year was great. As you know, London likes to kind of use the Goj as a development year, sort of, and yeah, I had a great time there. Met a lot of great people, and yeah, it was just developed a lot and definitely helped my game a lot.
That's good to hear because yeah, I mean, like I said, I hold the league in high esteem. It's really really good hockey.
Mhm.
Obviously you mentioned how your brothers kind of inspired your hockey journey for sure, and sibling rivalries are definitely a thing. If you're young and you're in the basement and the mini sticks are out, who's coming out on top of that matchup? Like, were you the king of mini sticks, or would you give
No,
your edge to your brother? No, not
def
you.
definitely wasn't me. No,
Okay.
I uh, I would have been at the bottom of that ladder growing up. So
Really,
yeah,
because I know the younger brother can tend to be the extra chippy one. He wants to prove himself to the older brothers. But
yeah,
you're being very humble here. You're giving the edge to your brothers.
yeah, definitely. I'd give
Okay.
them a run for their money for sure, but they definitely have the edge.
Okay, well, what about a head-to-head race? Like who's getting down the ice quicker, you or the older brothers?
Right now,
Yeah.
yeah, me. I think me for sure.
There you go. That's what I
Yeah,
want. The
yeah,
competitiveness is coming out now. All right.
yeah.
Who do you think has the hardest shot? I mean, you put yours on display in Guelph. I mean, are your brothers bringing that kind of heat or?
Yeah, sometimes just kind of depends on the day, but I mean, overall, me probably again.
Yeah, you like yours. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I wanted to hear.
yeah.
Exactly. When you first got to Guelph, obviously new experience, new coaching staff, new systems. How's it been for you kind of learning under Corey Stillman, another guy that played to great success in the NHL, two Stanley Cups? Rob Davison, obviously your D coach. I mean, the whole coaching staff, the guys have been raving about how good of a teacher they all are. What's your experience been like so far with all those guys?
Yeah, they've been great so far. I've already learned a lot from Rob and Corey and all the staff. I can tell how much they know, and obviously they've both played in the NHL, and uh, I have a lot to learn from them still. But yeah, just coming in, they were really helpful with me and learning the systems and um, kind of their do's and don'ts from the first game that I played in Windsor. They let me know, but yeah, I mean they've been great so far, and they've helped me a lot in my transition.
That's good to hear. And I don't know if you know this, maybe your teammates made you aware, but your coach, Rob, he scored one of the most infamous goals in Toronto Maple Leafs history. I don't know if you've ever seen the clip, but look up
No,
the goal he scored on Vesa Toskala.
okay,
You'll know
well,
what I mean.
yeah.
He scored from below his goal line. It's
Oh,
uh
wow.
it's one of the most infamous goals ever. It just the puck kind of wobbled and jumped on Toskala as it reached you. He scored from the other end of the ice. Look it up.
Okay,
You'll have a talking point for him at the next practice. Hey, I saw the
yeah, for sure.
Toskala goal, you know? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's an infamous one. On that note, I bring up the Leafs. Like you're a London boy. Did you grow up a Leafs fan? Was the family big Leafs fans? Did you and your brothers all pick different teams and battle over that? What was the household like on a Saturday night?
yeah. Everyone in my family's always been a Leafs fan. My dad was, my mom was, so naturally it just fell onto us, and ever since we were kids, we've always been Leafs fans, and it's obviously not the best to be one at times, but I think we're gonna stick with it.
Yeah, as you should. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's a true fan right there. You stick through the hard times too.
yeah,
Speaking of fans and great fan bases, and I mean the Leafs certainly have one. The London Knights certainly have one. You got to experience that firsthand growing up and playing for them. What have you made of the Sleeman Center crowds, man? I mean, even at times when this team has struggled, these fans show up. I mean, it's unbelievable the way they pack the barn. And like I said, I mean, you endeared yourself to them right away. What's it like for you so far playing at the Sleeman Center? What do you make of it?
yeah. It's been unreal so far. Every game's pretty much sold out. Fans are loud. They cheer us on a lot, and definitely helps us as players for sure. Helps me at least. Kind of get going, and um, like you said, after every goal, everyone's on their feet, and yeah, it's so loud, and even just after that first star that I got my first game, everyone's just freaking out, supporting me, and yeah, I mean it's been great so far, and I really look forward to playing there.
That's good to hear, man. Get used to it, because yeah, I mean, we're lucky. We got a really great fan base in the Royal City, that's for
Yeah,
sure. We've also been treated to a lot of good goaltending over the years with the Storm throughout their history, and obviously Braden Gillespie recently moved on to Brampton, but the two young guys that are there now that are going to be the focus of the crease going forward, Ellsworth and of course Mr. Jovanovski. Like as a defenseman, getting to play in front of these two young guys, and you're out there and you watch Zach Jovanovski earn his first career win in a crazy good game against Kingston. Not very long after that, he gets his first career shutout. Like, what's it like as a defenseman watching these two young guys? Because everyone in Guelph's real excited about the pair of them.
yeah, they're both great. Definitely have a good future ahead of them. It's helps as a D man when your goalie kind of has your back if you make a mistake, and they're gonna bail you out a lot of the time, and definitely makes you more comfortable out on the ice. And yeah, I'm just excited to see them continue to develop and their future seasons.
We certainly all are as well. I wonder, as one of the newer guys coming into the room, when you walk in, you're kind of trying to get the lay of the land a little bit. You've been around for a little while now, so I want to ask you a little bit about some of your teammates. Who would you say is the biggest joker on the team? Like, who's the guy always pulling pranks if you have one?
Uh, Probably Steve-O or Carter Stevens
Really?
or I don't know, Grant Spada actually pranked me today, so might have to go him too.
Do you care to share what he did to you?
He just yeah, that's fine. He just made me wait at the school for like 10 minutes saying I had to drive some of the boys back to the rink, but little did I know he already drove them back there and they were already there and I was just sitting out front of the building waiting for them. So,
Perfect. So he's
yeah.
wasting your time. Okay, I was waiting for like maybe a skate lace got snipped or
No, no.
tape on the blade or something. Have you ever pulled a prank maybe on one of your brothers?
Yeah, I've definitely done that, but if anyone tried to do that to me, I'd probably catch them. So that hasn't happened to me yet, but
You're diligent. You're on the lookout.
yeah, now that I say that, it might happen, but I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to give any of the guys ideas if they watch this. Don't blame me. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Who would you say on your team is like the real serious guy where, you can't really talk to them? They're just locked in before the game. I assume maybe one of the goalies.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's pretty approachable. I don't know if there's a guy where, you can't really talk to him before games, but there's definitely lots of guys just dialed in and focused. But yeah, and like you said, the goalies obviously you won't get much out of them before the games, but um, yeah, I mean, everyone's pretty good that way.
We see it a little bit. We catch little glimpses of it when Isaac's doing the intro to the game and you guys are in the tunnel with him. What's the secret handshake game like in the pregame before you guys skate out? Like, is it pretty heavy? Do guys have a lot of unique stuff going on, or is it pretty simple high fives? Like, what's the handshake game like? I don't want you to
Yeah,
reveal anything.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a couple of unique handshakes, but most guys will have some kind of special thing that they do with a couple of the teammates. But yeah, I mean, everyone just giving fist pumps and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of those special handshakes going around too.
There you go. Well, it's good to
Yeah,
hear. I like
yeah,
to hear you guys being creative and stuff. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Um, I want to ask you as well, I know that the room is a big country room. There's a lot of country fans. Do you fall into that? Like, is country your kind of go-to music, or do you have something specific you like to listen to get pumped up for a game?
Country's definitely my go-to. Just day in and day out. But when I'm trying to get dialed in, I'll throw in, usually just listen to some rap or some rock and stuff like that. But when I'm trying to get pumped up for a game, country's usually not the thing that I go to, but just on the daily, I definitely listen to country the most.
There you go. Well, hey, you'll fit right in because
Yeah,
that's the most common answer I get.
yeah.
If they let you pick a goal song, does one spring to mind?
Mm, I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about that, but yeah, I don't know. There's definitely, if I had some more time, I definitely could think of a couple, but off the top of my head, I'm not really sure about that.
I like to put your teammates on the spot. I've gotten some unique answers. No
Yeah.
one's volunteered for Taylor Swift yet, so maybe
Oh,
maybe we'll get somebody involved there. But I'll think of one
yeah.
for you because I've thought of a few for some of the guys, and I'll come up with something
Perfect.
for you when I see you. Something will come to
Sounds
mind
good.
for me. Um,
Okay.
your road routine, are you a big cards guy? Do you like to kind of sit by yourself and listen to music, movies? What's the routine like on the bus and in the hotels?
Yeah, in the hotels, I'm definitely a big cards guy. But on the bus, usually you just, eat my pregame, listen to music, take a nap, stuff like that. Um, talk to the boys, but yeah, I'm just pretty simple there. But yeah, hotels definitely trying to get a group together and play some sort of card game for sure.
You're not the Netflix guy then, eh? You're trying to be social and get everybody involved.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Nah, it's good. Well, what are you playing? Like, I know that there's been a lot of talk about this euchre league. Are you
Mm,
involved in the euchre league? And if so, how you doing?
you know what? I'm not involved in it yet, but
Okay.
I would want to. I'm kind of on the edge of, knowing how to play and not knowing how to play, but I'm definitely gonna try to get in that soon. And I've played a couple games already, but I'm back. I haven't been here too long, but everyone plays euchre here. But in London, we were kind of poker and blackjack, uh,
Okay.
those kind of games. So yeah, maybe start that going in Guelph. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
You strike me as a guy that would have a good poker face. Like, would you call yourself a prodigious poker player? I was pretty good back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. Me and my buddies like to play a lot in the summer, and kind of got me and a few of the guys in London got kind of the whole team into it. So yeah, definitely got a good poker face. So
There you go. All right. Well, I'm interested. I want to check back if a poker league gets going. I want to hear that you're at the top of it. All right. You got to teach
yeah,
these guys how to play.
yeah,
I'm also curious. I've asked guys this. There used to be a raging debate between last year's captain Braden Bowman and, of course, Ryan McGuire on who is the best shell player on the team. Those guys are both no longer involved, obviously. Are you a big Chell guy? Did you used to be maybe with your brothers? And how would you assess your Chell game? Do you think you could take the rest of the team down? Because there's some guys that are going for the crown, I hear.
yeah. I think I could get the crown.
Really?
I right now I don't play a ton, but I used to play a lot the past couple of years with, like you said, my brothers and my teammates and stuff like that. So I think that alone will carry me to the top on this team.
Wow. I
Yeah,
really like the confidence. I keep bugging the girls like we with the ladies with the team, Lisa and Lindsay, we gotta organize a team NHL tournament because I
yeah,
want to see I want to be involved because I think I could crush all of you. And
yeah,
B, I want to see legitimately who's the best on the team because I've heard a lot of confident guys saying, "Oh no, it's me, it's me." I want to put this to the test.
yeah. I think we
I
should.
like it. What about,
Yeah.
are your brothers better than you, or could you take them down in a Chell tournament?
No, no, I'm the best of the family.
I
They
love
used to have
it.
me, but not anymore. I'm
You
definitely the
blew
best.
by them. Ah,
Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot, man. Well,
yeah,
hey, it's been a pleasure watching you grow a lot in your time here with the Storm. We're looking forward to more of it. Before I let you go, you've had a really unique journey so far. You get to play for your hometown team. What's the best part in your mind about being an OHL player?
yeah. Just the relationships that I've made so far. I've made, friends for life, and just even when I see them, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, I can stop and have a conversation with them, or go out to eat or something like that. And I've made some really special friends, and already on Guelph, I'm making new relationships, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, probably that.
I like that answer, man. That sounds like the right answer. I like that a lot, man. Well,
Yeah.
hey, you've got fans for life in Guelph, obviously, and of course back in London. It's been a pleasure watching you so far. Congrats on that first career goal and all your success so far, and keep it up, man. You got people pretty excited in the Royal City. Keep it going, Noah. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, remember you can find this show on all of the Guelph Storm social media. You can find it on the website. And remember, if you want to come down, and you should, and watch Noah Jenken and his Guelph Storm teammates in action, go on the Guelph Storm website or visit the box office at the Sleeman Center. We'll be back next week with more Eye of the Storm.